What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Pokemon Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle. Today, I decided to switch it up a little bit with an OU battle. I've been playing a lot of lower tiers lately, so I figured, why not throw a little OU in the mix? So this is a team that I threw together that's actually pretty damn nice. I wanted to use some stuff like Magnezone and Weavile, along with Mega Gyarados is kind of what this team is built around. I do love me some thick shrimp. So this is against Hugh from Twitter. He has some pretty big threats on his team, including the Mega Mawile is the main thing that I do have to worry about, along with the Amoonguss, and he's got Conkeldurr. Overall, pretty solid team here, so let's actually just go ahead and hop into the battle. Alright, so I was expecting him to want to lead off with his Ambipom, so I'm going to throw out my boy Pinhead Larry here. Magnezone comes out making some crazy ass noises, as he does actually end up leading off with his Ambipom. The reason why I let off with my Magnezone is because I know that I can take a Fake Out, obviously, and then his best option is just to U-turn out. That's actually perfect for me because my plan is just to go for the Volt Switch. This thing's obviously going to be faster, and it'll allow me to get a better matchup. So he's going to U-turn first. Whenever you get two pivots in a row, the slower pivot actually gets the benefit here. So the U-turn's obviously not going to be able to do a whole lot of damage here, as he's now going to switch into his Conkeldurr. That's actually good because I'm going to go for the Volt Switch, and the amount of damage that this thing takes is going to tell me that he is Assault Vested. So that means that I can kind of play against this Conkeldurr accordingly. I know it's not going to go for any setup moves, and that's really nice. So I'm now going to go ahead and switch into Chewed Gum here, ready to fire off some Moonblasts, as he's actually going to go ahead and switch into his Slowbro. So I do go for the Moonblast. It's going to do a solid amount of damage, obviously Slowbro being a defense wall. And I honestly don't have any problem with this matchup. I know that I do have the Magic Guard ability, so he can't Toxic me, and I can just kind of freely set up Calm Minds here. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Clefable out here getting that mind calm as fuck, ready to destroy some stuff. So I get that special attack and special defense raise, as the Slowbro is actually going to go for a Trick Room, which is incredibly scary because obviously now his slower Pokemon are going to go first, and things like the Mawile and the Muck and stuff like that are going to be pretty difficult to deal with as long as that Trick Room is up there. So he's now actually just going to go for a Scald, trying to get a little bit of damage there. That's obviously not going to do really anything because I am actually specially defense invested, and I got a Calm Mind there. So I just fire off a nice little Moonblast, throw the fucking moon at this thing's stupid face, and I do actually get the special attack drop. That does tell me that this thing is definitely not going to want to stay in here. So I was actually kind of expecting him to want to switch into his Mawile, but he's just going to go ahead and switch into the Cum Castle, which is his Alolan Muck. I went for the Flamethrower. Like I said, I expected the Mawile to come in, get a little bit more damage on there, but it's not going to really hurt that thing all that much, as I'm going to go ahead and switch out, but he does predict that and goes for the Pursuit, which isn't going to do a whole lot of damage. It leaves me above half, and that's fine. So this allows me to switch into my Gyarados. The reason being is because I want to get a nice little Intimidate, plus I do have Earthquake coverage on this, so I will be able to take care of the Muck here. So I'm now just going to go ahead and Mega Evolve, bust out the thickest shrimp in all the land, and now I am pretty damn weird looking, but I'm also Dark type and, kind of scary. So I now have the Mold Breaker ability. Doesn't really matter all that much, as he's going to go for a Poison Jab, obviously being faster due to the Trick Room. So I'm now going to go ahead and dance a little bit, as I know the Trick Room is going to wear off after this turn, which is perfect because that means I have a +1 in speed and attack, and I am a pretty damn threatening shrimp at this point. So he's going to switch out his Cum Castle. He decides to go into his Ambipom, basically just for death fodder, so that way he can bring in whatever he wants. The Earthquake is obviously going to take care of the Ambipom. Sorry, buddy, I do love that freaking monkey as a Pokemon. It's really fun to use, but this time it didn't get a whole lot done. So down goes that thing, and now he's going to go into his Slowbro. I'm guessing he wanted to get up a Trick Room, but obviously I do have Crunch, so a nice little Stab Crunch is going to take care of the Slowbro, and that's a pretty big wall out of the way, so that is awesome. And yeah, so now he's going to go ahead and switch right into his Amoonguss, and this is kind of a bad matchup for me. I know he's going to want to go for the Spore, and my Gyarados is looking very useful against things like his Muck and even the Mawile. So I'm going to go ahead and switch out, predicting the Spore. I just go into Noods. I send in some Noods, as obviously I block that, and at this point I'm expecting him to probably just want to go for the Sludge Bomb. So I switch in Katana, knowing I can take at least one Sludge Bomb from this thing, and then hit very hard with Icicle Crash in return. But he actually is going to double switch. He goes into his Conkeldurr, and this is not a great matchup for me. I don't want to take a Mach Punch, plus I can't one-hit KO that thing in return, so I'm just going to switch right back into Noods, as he does actually end up going for the Mach Punch. Punches me right in the noodles. That doesn't hurt all that bad. I am a bold defense invested Tangrowth, so I'm pretty set to handle this Conkeldurr. I know these things do carry Poison Jab, but I'm just going to go right for the knockoff, get rid of that Assault Vest. Should make this thing easier to take care of later. Plus, I know I can take a Poison Jab from this thing relatively nicely. And it's actually going to leave me above half, which is awesome. Plus, I don't get the poison, so things are looking pretty good here. So my plan here is just to go for the Giga Drain, trying to get as much damage as possible, as he's actually going to switch right into his Mawile. So this thing is pretty damn scary, and honestly, Mega Mawile always seems to fuck me up, so I got to figure out a plan against this thing. I do have Sleep Powder on this Tangrowth, so that's actually kind of my plan. The Giga Drain actually does a solid amount of damage and gets me some health back, which is really nice. So I assume that this thing's plan is to Mega Evolve and then go for the Swords Dance. Playing with the Swords is going to make this thing a lot more scary than it should be, although I do still have the Gyarados in the back of my team, who does have Earthquake to take care of this thing. Plus, even with the Swords Dance, I know that I can take a Sucker Punch because obviously I'm going to be Dark type. So he's going to go ahead and play with some Swords after Mega Evolving, as I do go for the Sleep Powder here. Luckily, does not miss. I feel like I have the worst luck ever when it comes to landing Sleep Powders, but it lands that time, so that's pretty cool. This thing takes a nice little nap, as Noods is kind of over here just dancing around doing his noodle thing. So I'm going to go ahead and actually just try to get as much damage as possible on this thing. I guess my kind of plan is to basically just whittle this thing down as much as I can, and then essentially just sack off my Tangrowth, because I don't have a whole lot of options when it comes to hard switches into this thing. It can be kind of risky, especially when it's asleep. You don't know when the hell this thing's going to wake up. So I'm just firing off some Giga Drains, as it actually does wake up like first turn and then gets a Play Rough. I wasn't at full health, so I am actually going to go ahead and die to that. So the good news is I do still have a pretty healthy Gyarados, so I'm going to go ahead and toss this guy out here, as I know that obviously I do outspeed this thing. He doesn't have the Trick Room up, which would have been scary, but luckily he doesn't have that up, as an Earthquake is going to take care of the Mawile, which is awesome because those things are always scary as hell, and it's just honestly great to see that thing go down. So that's a dead-ass Mawile, and see you later, bud. So now he's going to bring right in the Conkeldurr. The only thing it can really do to me is just go for a Mach Punch. I know that I can take at least one of those, so I decided to stay in here and go for a Waterfall. I kind of expected this thing to actually die to this, but it lives it. Conkeldurr's a crazy Cinder Block veiny bastard that's able to, you know, tank some hits. So I'm now just going to go ahead and switch into Pinhead. The reason being is because I kind of just want to sack this thing off. I do want to save my Gyarados for the Muck later. So I just bring in the Magnezone basically just to die to 2 Mach Punches at this point. See you later, Pinhead. So I'm just going to go ahead and switch right into my Clefable. I can take any attack from this Conkeldurr. I actually do outspeed with Moonblast, so I'm going to go ahead and just fire off the moon at this thing's face, and that is going to be a dead, weird clown Cinder Block vein thing. So his remaining Pokemon are the Alolan Muck and the Amoonguss. So I do have the Weavile to take care of the Amoonguss, and I have Gyarados to take care of the Muck here. So he's going to bring in his weird pile of cum, as he's just going to go for a Shadow Sneak. I don't really know why. Maybe he was expecting a switch or something, but I just decided to stay in. I just go for the Moonblast. It doesn't really matter what I do at this point. I kind of just need Clefable to die. That way I can bring in my Gyarados basically for free. So I go for another one of these bad boys, as he's just going to go ahead and finish me off with a Poison Jab. So that is going to take care of Clefable, but you did well, buddy. Good work. Good work. So at this point, I don't really have anything to worry about. I'm just going to bring right in my Gyarados, who has been absolutely rampaging this match. Honestly, I love using Mega Gyarados. This thing's a freaking beast. So I have to take a Shadow Sneak. Obviously, he's just going to go for that one last little ditch effort there. I am Dark type, so not going to take a whole lot of damage from that. And an Earthquake is going to kill your Play-Doh thing. So see you later, Cum Castle. And at this point, his last Pokemon is the Amoonguss, which is a pretty shitty Pokemon to deal with, but I do have the Weavile, who I've basically just been saving in the back of my team for this damn thing. So eat me for a trip. I'm like, you know, I take that as a challenge, and I go ahead and take a nice little bite out of this thing, as I trip so damn hard. Check this out. I trip so hard off that shit, it fucking kills me. So the mushroom is going to kill me. Don't do drugs, kids, as I did enough damage to the point where I can just bring in Weavile, and then I can kind of just throw some icicles at this weird little piggy mushroom, and that is going to pretty much take this thing out. So Katana comes out, comes out to stretch the old legs, looking nice and pink, shiny as fuck, as like I said, an Icicle Crash is going to take care of the Amoonguss. So that is going to be the end of the battle there, guys. That was a pretty damn good one. I've actually been having fun playing OU lately. It's kind of interesting to go back and forth playing OU. It does get a little bit stale after a while, but it's definitely pretty fun. There's some cool Pokemon to use. So thank you guys for watching. Go ahead and hit that like button on this video if you enjoyed, and subscribe for some more Wi-Fi battles. Peace out.